guys, it's Kelsey. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing a story time, as you can tell by the title of the video, and I really wish this was clickbait, but it's not. So I haven't done a story time video in a really long time. I think I actually only have one on my channel, so if you want to check it out, it's a story of how I fell down a canyon. So it's like kind of interesting. I'll put it up in the iBar if you want to watch it, but it was also from like 2 years ago. So it's like a little cringy, but that's okay. So you guys have been requesting story times, and I really wanted to do a story time video, but the problem is I don't really have that many good stories to tell. I mean, I am still in high school, I'm still only 16, and I'm a pretty innocent little child. I don't really like do a lot of bad stuff. So I just don't have very many good stories, but I really want to do story time videos. And then this fun incident happened, and I figured I would make it a positive experience by doing a story time of this. So today I will be sharing the story of how I got in a car accident the day before I was supposed to take my driving test. I would like to put a disclaimer that I am a good driver according to my parents and my driving instructor and my test examiner, but everybody makes mistakes.
Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I was scheduled to take my driving test. It was on a Monday. I forget the exact date. I just know that it was a Monday. And I remember that I had scheduled it for like 2 weeks later because the only days that were available were like, there was one in June, which is the one I'm talking about, and then there was one in August, but I really didn't want to wait until August because I really wanted to have a job, so I really wanted to do the June one. And so my mom was like, okay, but we have to practice a lot. So we were practicing, and then finally Sunday rolls around, and it is the day before I'm supposed to take my driving test. I had heard a couple weird things that are in the driving test that was at the DMV that I'm taking. Like, there were a lot of weird, like, kind of turn lanes and stuff. And so I kind of wanted to practice in the area so that way I kind of got a feel for it. And so my brother wanted to look at something at a store that was near the DMV I was going to. And so we're like, oh, we'll just, like, drive in that area and then we'll go and get this thing for my brother. So we get to the DMV and my mom just tells me to pull in and act like I'm parking into a parking spot at the DMV because you have to do that at the test. So my mom was like basically just practice going into a parking spot. I have no idea what happened here, by the way. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I was distracted because my mom was trying to talk to me. That sounded really bad. But basically, these were straight spots, and my mom was trying to give me tips on how to park in a straight spot because I always did this weird thing where I'd like go too close to the spot, and then I'd try to like swing out and like go in it, and it was really weird. I would always try to do that, and I don't know why. And then my mom was trying to tell me like stay on the far side of where the spots are. That way, it's more of like a 90 degree to get in the spot. So she was trying to tell me to do that as I was like pulling into the spot. So I don't know if I was just like listening to her talk and then I got all weird, but then I'm like pulling into the spot, and this spot has like a little planter, so it's kind of like a curb, but then it's like there's a tree in it. And so I was pulling into one of those spots, and so I like turn in, everything's great, and I was trying to brake really suddenly because I kind of went into the spot a little bit fast, so I was trying to brake really suddenly so that I didn't hit this curb planter thing. And then I pushed on the gas instead. I promise I know which pedal is which. I have never ever mixed up the pedals ever until this one day. And so I pushed on the gas really hard. And so then that happened, and my car goes over the planter and rams into this tree that's in the planter. And my mom was like, oh my God, like, come on, like, what are you doing? And I was like, I don't know. And so then I finally braked. I stopped the car from going any further into the tree. And then I put it in reverse and I backed out of the spot. And so then I was just sitting in the spot. And then I like put it back in park, and then we just like stayed there and we just stopped and we were sitting there. And so then we sat there for a while, and then I just kind of was like, okay, like, now what? And my mom was like, well, we have to go call your dad. And I was like, why? And she was like, because I don't know if the car is drivable. And so here's what's going in my head. I truly thought the car was okay. Like, for some reason, I just thought like, oh man, I accidentally kind of hit this tree, but like my car is fine. It wasn't fine. And so my mom tells me that the car might not be drivable, and I was like, and then I just sobbed. And there were so many other things going through my head now because I was like, now the car is damaged. Now we have to pay for damages and our insurance goes up. And then the last thing that was going through my head was, I can't take my driver's test. Because if you don't know, like when you take your driver's test, your car has to have certain things, like it can't have cracks in the windshields or the mirrors or anything, and then like there can't be cracks in your headlights. And my one headlight was smashed, and so was the whole kind of front driver's side corner of it. And so I wasn't going to be able to take my test, even though we found out that the car was drivable. My dad like test drove it through the parking lot, and it was drivable. It's just that it wouldn't have passed the inspection. And then my mom called my dad, and then my dad came, and so did my brother. So it was like a whole family freaking reunion getting together. And so I sat there in the car. I had my sunglasses on, and there were like tears streaming down my face, and I just sat there. I was like, and so my family comes, and then my dad calls like our insurance, and then we ended up calling the cops just to see if we needed to do something, because the tree was like bent, but we weren't sure because it didn't like fall over, so we kind of didn't really know what to do. So then the one cop said that as long as it wasn't like about to fall over, then we didn't have to do anything. So that was good. And so we were on the phone for the insurance for a while, and we were trying to kind of figure out what to do. And that was when my dad test drove the car and found out that it was drivable. So he ended up driving that car home, and then we drove behind him. And yeah, so that was what happened. And I got home, and I sat on my bed, and I cried for the rest of the night. And now an update today. It is July now. My car is okay. She's all good. She's great. She's a trooper. She made it. She's all good. So my car's okay. I have my license now. I passed. I did really well on the test. And I have driven to multiple places. And the last update I have for you is that when I went to the DMV to take my test, the tree that I hit was gone. So obviously they saw that somebody had, or something, they probably figured out that somebody hit it, but they obviously saw that the tree was bent and somebody obviously took it out, so it is no longer there anymore. So that is my story. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's fun to look back on and laugh now. At the time it wasn't. I was very sad, but now everything is good. So that's my story. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you want me to do more story times, let me know. I'll try to think of some good stories that I can tell. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!